Hi there, yogis. Welcome to your Yin Yoga class. I'm Penny of Yoga with Penny, and today a Yin Yoga practice focusing on shoulders, hips, and spine. So basically full body. Have a couple props. I have a bolster, a folded blanket, a block. If you don't have these at home, you can always use couch cushions, pillows, rolled towels. So get a little creative. Gather your supplies and let's begin in a supine bound angle. So for a supine bound angle, I'm going to give you two options. Option one is you're just going to do it on your back. Soles of the feet together, knees apart, hands to the belly, and this might be enough for you. You can always take your blocks and cushion your thighs if that's too much of a hip opening. Just support the thighs on the blocks. Okay. Option two for you is to take your bolster, couch cushion, whatever you have. You're going to slide that under your hips, making sure your sacrum is supported, and then bring the feet up on the cushion or bolster as well. Knees are apart, soles of the feet together. Supine butterfly. And then get comfortable. Your arms can be wherever. Sometimes I like my hands on my belly or in a goalpost. And then sometimes I like to reach my arms up and overhead. But I want you to pay attention to the shoulders here. If you feel any tingles or sharp pain, maybe you bring the arms down a little bit. Or you just grab opposite elbows and let your forearms rest on your forehead here. This is another nice way to relax into it. So this is where I'm going to stay. I'm going to be here for a couple of minutes. So just make sure you're relaxed and fully supported by the floor or your bolster. And then just start to pay attention to your breath without changing it. Ask yourself, how is my breathing today? How is my breath? Notice if it's smooth and even, maybe a little short and choppy, maybe somewhere between. Just noticing without judgment. So our breath is going to be our intention today. See, ask yourself, can I make my breath a little slower? A little quieter? A little deeper? And more regular? Bringing the arms down by the side. Take your hands to the outer hips, outer legs. Draw those knees together. If you are in a bolster, step one foot at a time onto the floor. Lift your hips up and press the bolster away. And then everybody, we're going to rebound by bringing our feet wide and our knees to touch together. So rebounding with our hips internally rotated. And while we were in supine bound angle, our hips were externally rotated. So this knees together is the opposite movement and a nice place to rest. And let's go ahead and bring those knees apart. Go post your arms, do some windshield wipers side to side. And I like my head to just get into the movement too. So when my knees drop right, my gaze goes left. When my knees drop left, my gaze goes right. All right, and hug those knees in. And then let's go ahead and roll to our side or straight up into a seated position, pressing yourself up. And let's find some postures in a seated. So let's find cow face or shoelace, known as both, with our legs. So I'm going to cross the right knee on top of the left. Wiggle around. I'm going to get those sit bones, both of them, rooted into the earth, making sure your heels are not under your hips. So wiggle them away a little bit. You know, the further your heels are away from your hips, the more intense the posture will be. So go to your edge, about 80% of what you want to feel, and then bring those heels in a little bit. Shift forward if the knees aren't stacking, and it's okay if your knees look more like this. Not everybody's knees are going to stack. So for shoelace pose, we're going to do a side bend with this. So first, roll your shoulders up and back a few times. Since we're working the shoulders and the upper body, I'm going to loosen those shoulders up. So up, back, and down. Okay? Just really start to feel any tight spots in there. Just notice that. Notice the right side compared to the left as you move. All right. And then to go into our pose, we're going to go ahead, and since the right knee is on top, we're going to take the left arm out to the side. Your thumb is facing up, and then turn the thumb down. Reach behind your back, between your shoulder blades, or somewhere close. You might not reach all the way up there. Take a big breath in, and as you exhale, you're slowly going to bend to the right. You're going to feel a very deep stretch through the left side, especially in your QL muscle. That's one of your deep muscles in there, quadratus laborum. You're going to stretch. You'll feel it in the hips, the low back. Now maybe you just plant your palm down, or maybe you come all the way down to your elbow. You can always rest your head in your right hand here. I'm going to come up and grab a block to do that. Once we're here, we're going to settle in for a while. So I'm going to take my elbow to the block. I'm going to lift that left shoulder up so it's on top of the right and not coming forward. And then here we go. We're going to hold. Really feeling through the left side. And you can close your eyes here. And again, focus on the breath. Ask yourself, can I make my breath a little deeper? A little slower? A little quieter? And a little more regular? And very gently push yourself up, keeping that left arm behind, and slowly let that left arm just come down. Let it flow down. Press the walls away. Nice long spine. Eagle arms. Right arm underneath left. Either you hug or you come into a full eagle wrap. And then lift those elbows up in line with the shoulders and round in. Drop your chin in towards the chest and round in, pressing the elbows forward. Pressing the back of the heart back. Find that slower, deeper, quieter, more regular breath. And release the elbows down, lengthen the spine long, bring your arms back out, press the walls away. Let's do a little nerve flossing for the brachial plexus nerve bundle. So right palm down, left arm up, and then do the opposite. Just gliding the nerves through your shoulders. And then bring your arms down, coming into a butterfly. Finding a butterfly, inhale the arms up. Exhale, turn your torso towards that right leg and fold in. Target area is that inner thigh on the right leg. You might be feeling this also on the left side, left hip, lower back. Settle in. You can always prop your head on a block or a bolster so you can let go of as much tension in your body as possible. And once you've settled in, find that slow, deep, quiet, more regular breath. If your mind wanders, just bring your awareness back to your breath. Our mind's going to do what it does. It wanders. Just rein it in and bring it back to paying attention to your breath. Slowly plant the palms on the earth. Walk your palms back towards your hips. Come all the way up. We're going to move into a paradise twist. So you're going to roll to that left hip. Bend the right knee so that the right knee is somewhere around the area of the left arch of the foot. All right. Yes, your right sitting bone is floating now. Lengthen the spine with an inhale, and as you exhale, you're going to walk your hands to the left. Okay? Maybe you keep long arms here and just stay here. Maybe you come down to your forearms. Be gentle with yourself. Okay? So a twist for the body. And hang out here. How is that breath? Ask yourself, how is my breath? And can I make it a little slower? A little deeper. Quieter. And more regular. Engage the belly. Start to press yourself up to your palms and very slowly walk back to center. And take your feet wide, so mat width apart. Plant your palms behind you, fingers facing away or towards you, whatever feels better to your shoulders. And we'll just do some windshield wipers here. Back and forth, internal and external rotation of the hips to move around some of that energy you released with your postures. And then let's do that on the other side. So this time, we're going to have left on top of right. And let's do the same side. Okay? And I want you to wiggle around, shift forward, do whatever you need to do to get those knees to stack, or at least come somewhere like this. Depending on your bone structure, you might not fully stack like this. So it might look more like this. That's fine. You can always sit up on your folded blanket. That might help release the knees a little bit. All right. Then we're going to do that side bend. So since the left knee is on top, maybe you take a block to the left side, right arm comes out, thumb up, and then turn the thumb down and reach for your shoulder blades back there. It's okay if you don't reach all the way up to the shoulder blades. Take a big inhale, lift the low back, exhale, side bend to the left. Now this side for me is a little tighter. I want you to notice that in your own side, in your own body. Which side was a little bit tougher to do this, a little more challenging. And again, you can come down as far as you want if you don't need the block. You can come all the way down, making sure that right shoulder's back though, not forward. Stacking over the left. I'm going to use the block and rest my elbow on the block, my left elbow, and place my head in my left hand. Notice where you feel this. Most likely your right low back, hip, rib area, shoulders, so whole right side. And your breath is calm, quiet, it's deep, it's regular. And don't hold these shoulder ones too long. So you're going to press up, let that right arm just float down. No sudden moves. Press the walls away. Nice long spine here. And then eagle arms, left arm under, right. Either you hug and lift the elbows or come to a full eagle wrap. Lift the elbows up and then round in, tuck your chin to your chest. Press the elbows forward as you press the heart back. Feel this in the ribs, especially those thoracic ribs. Notice how quiet your breath is. And very gently bring the elbows down as you lift the spine up, lift the gaze up, press the walls away again. Let's do that nerve gliding, nerve flossing, right palm down, left up, and then switch. Just do that a few times. Flossing the brachial plexus, shoulder bundle of nerves we have in there. Just giving them a little release. And then bring your palms down, coming into that half butterfly. Bring the left leg out this time, right heel's tucked in, sit bones are rooted. Inhale your arms up, and then exhale, turn towards the left leg, and then drop in. Maybe you plant the palms, and this is as far as your body wants to go today, that's okay. Or maybe you come down a little bit further. Settled in, root the sitting bones. And then once you're there, check in with your breath. Make it slower and deeper and quieter and more regular. And then slowly pressing yourself up, nice and slow, no sudden movements, coming into deer pose. So we can go into that twist. Roll to your right hip, bend your left knee falls somewhere around where the right arch of the foot is. Okay? And then inhale, lengthen, exhale, start to walk those fingers to the right, and maybe you just stay up with long arms and that's enough for your body. Or maybe you go down a little bit further onto your elbows, maybe all the way down to forearms. Find your twist and settle in. And pressing into those palms, very slowly bring yourself up. You're going to come into a seated pose with your knees bent and your feet as wide as your mat. Plant your palms behind you. Do some of those windshield wipers again, side to side. Just get some of that out. All right, and then we're going to do one of my favorite sequences for the upper body whenever I've lifted weights or did any resistance training. I'm usually tight there and I do this sequence. So you're going to come down to your belly. And we're going to do open wing. So your right arm is going to be bent, forehead down. And you're going to start to roll onto your right side. So I'm going to move my microphone so I don't squash it out of my pocket. And you're going to roll to your right side with your elbow bent as far as feels good to get a stretch. I'm going to draw my knees in. Okay. And from here you can float the left palm behind you, or you can keep the left palm in front of you like a little kickstand. Okay. So whatever feels good to you. Now roll out of it a little bit if you feel any type of tingling. Now as an added bonus, you don't have to do this, but sometimes I like to, since I'm rolling on my right side, I take my left hand and find my left foot to get a little quadricep stretch there. So if that's in your practice, do it. If not, don't worry about it. The target area is the right shoulder. Once again, checking in with your breath and the 4 qualities that we've been practicing today. How slow, deep, quiet, and more regular can you make your breath? You have a hold of the foot, really release the foot, stack the knees, bring your left palm to the earth and start to roll towards your belly. Coming into a crocodile pose, so simply just stack the palms and just notice the right shoulder compared to the left. And let's go ahead and do that on the left side. So your left elbow is bent. You roll to your left side, nice and gently. This side is definitely tighter, so I'm not going to go in as far as I went on my right side. Draw your knees in. Your right hand can float behind you, or it can stay right in front of you on the earth.
Maybe 4. If you took the bind before, just wait a few cycles of breath. And then if you want to take that bind, right hand reaches for right foot and settle in. When any time your mind wanders, check in with those 4 qualities of breath. If you do have the foot, gently release the foot. Stack the knees, bring the right palm in front of your face, and start to roll onto your belly again, coming into crocodile pose. And in this crocodile pose, it might feel good to bend the knees and sashay the feet side to side a little bit. And then drop the feet back down to the earth. And press yourself up and back into a quick child's pose. Toes together, big toes together, knees apart as far wide as feels good. And then you're going to slide those palms forward. Bring your forehead to the earth. Reaching those arms up and over might feel really good. And let's just get a little side body stretch by walking our palms to the right. Our hips are still in child's pose. And then drop your forehead between the upper arms. Let's go ahead and go back to center. And then walk your palms off the other side. Left side, drop your forehead between your upper arms. Resting the forehead on the earth. And then walking those palms back to center. Press yourself up. And come to a seat. We're going to finish class out on our box. So nice long spine. Grab the shins in. Give yourself a big inhale here. And as you exhale, engage the core slightly. Bring yourself down with control. Drawing those knees in. The back of the head lands gently on the mat. Hug your knees in. And let's come into a half happy baby pose. So my right foot's going to plant. My left hand is either going to grab my left shin or my left foot on a pinky side edge of the foot. Right arm out like a wing and my right knee wings out. Okay, so that's your little balance so you don't roll over to your left. So left hand to left foot or shin. Right arm out to the side, right knee out to the side.
So this is a hip opener, externally rotating the right hip, getting some compression in the left hip, and a shoulder stretch from holding your left shoulder. It's getting a stretch from holding your foot to your left foot. Let's turn this into a twist. So bring the right knee up, right foot on the earth. Take that left leg and cross it over the right. Arms go out to a T. Shift your hips slightly over to the left, and then drop your hips to the right. Make sure both shoulders remain on the earth, just to protect them. Your gaze can be straight up or to the left, whatever feels good to your cervical spine, your neck muscles. Bringing your gaze up, bringing your knees up nice and slow, rolling that left hip down. Uncross the legs, hug the knees into the chest. And then let's do that on the other side, half happy baby. This time the left foot plants, right hand to right shin or outer right foot. Left arm out like a wing. Left knee rolls out to the left side. Now you're externally rotating the left hip and getting some compression in that right. Hang out here, let your shoulders relax. That breath is so slow, deep and quiet and regular. Allow the breath to be what it is now. Then gently release, bringing the left knee up, left foot to the earth. Cross the right leg over the left. Arms out to a T, and then shift your hips to the right as you drop your knees to the left. Shoulders remain down. Gaze can be up or to the right. And settle in for a few slow, sweet, deep breaths. Bringing that gaze back up, bringing the knees back up. Hug the knees in. Cross the legs, hug the knees in. Maybe lift your forehead as you exhale towards your knees, wrapping yourself in a little ball. And then inhale into your Shavasana. Let your legs go long.
Let your body sink heavy against your mat. Arms wherever feels good, out to the side, on your belly. Sink in by taking a deep breath in. And as you exhale, let the body sink into the surface beneath you, heavy. Another deep breath in through the nose. Sink a little heavier as you exhale. Feel the body get so heavy. And one more time, inhale. And let the body sink heavy, heavy into the surface beneath you. And of course, you can stay in Savasana as long as you want. Just hit the pause button. But if you're ready to come out, before you open your eyes, I want you to feel your body on the earth. Feel all the meeting points of your body on the earth. Feel your connection to the earth. Start to bring some small movements into the fingers and the toes. Allow your breath to be smooth and quiet, just like it always has been. Maybe start to rotate the wrists and the ankles. Head can rock side to side. And then when it feels good to you, no hurry, but you'll take a full body stretch like you're waking up in the morning. Maybe pointing those toes, reaching the fingers up and overhead. Nice big inhale here. And walk those knees into the chest as you exhale. Give yourself a squeeze. And very gently, you'll roll to one side or the other. And press yourself up into a seated position. Take a seat with those sitting bones. Plant your palms face down as this is a grounding practice. So palms down is very grounding. Shoulders down. And close your eyes and just take a few cycles of breath, noticing how you feel now compared to when you started your practice. And then bringing palms together in front of the heart, thumbs at the sternum. Thank you for practicing with me. Thank you for taking time for you, getting yourself to a place of wellness, doing some self-care. That's so important because you know you cannot pour from an empty cup. So take care of you. The light in me bows and honors to the light in you. Namaste.